In this lecture, let's look at a few examples. The first one is to find the product of 6 times cosine 225 degrees plus I sine 225 degrees, and then this complex number in trigonometric form times another complex number in the trigonometric form. The complex number, the second one, is 7 times cosine 195 degrees plus I times sine 195 degrees. First of all, we want to know is that this is the product. Okay, this is one complex number in trigonometric form. This is another complex number in the trigonometric form. Okay, 6 times this quantity. Inside is a real part and imaginary part. Constant times the constant, and then inside this bracket is a real part times the imaginary part. Okay, so basically 6 with this quantity is a multiplication relationship. Okay, so is the case for 7 and this expression. So then we can do is, first we want to see how to do it. That's 6 times 7 first. Okay, 6 times 7. And then for cosine 225 degrees, you want to add 195 degrees. And then plus I sine 225 degrees plus 195 degrees. This angle plus this angle. Okay. Yeah, and then you want to find out what's the answer. Okay, again, this angle plus that, this angle plus that. And here is I, so you put in front of sine. Okay, what do we get? 6 plus 7, 42. And then down here, 225 plus 195. That's 420. Okay, so you may write 420 degrees. And then plus sine 420 degrees. Now, 420 degrees is too big. You minus 360 degrees, then this angle is the same with the one above. Okay, so then we know that's cosine 60 degrees plus I sine 60 degrees. And then we know cosine 60 degrees is 1/2, and sine 60 degrees is radical 3 over 2. So, final answer, you may put right here. 42 times 1/2, 21. And then 42 times radical 3 over 2, that's 21 radical 3, you put I, like that. So you are done. You know how to do it. Now, here is y. Okay. Y takes, you are done right here. Okay. As long as you know how to do it, you are fine. But here is y. We add 195 with 225, and we times 6 and 7. 6 times 7, you times it, that's not a problem, because 6 times this quantity times another one, you can do 6 times 7 first. So here we only want to explain is that when this complex number times this complex number, why we end up with add. Okay, before we do that, we want to have a few things be clear in our mind. What's the meaning for I? I is an imaginary unit. Okay, and then you know I squared is -1. Okay, so this is one thing we want to be clear. Another thing is that what we have learned before is cosine alpha plus beta. If we remember, that will be cosine, cosine, and then sine, sine. Okay? And here is plus, and here is minus. Then you put the first angle alpha, and then the second angle beta here. Okay? And also, we want to recall sine alpha plus beta. If we remember, that will be sine, cosine, cosine, sine. We're going to remember that. Here is plus, it should also be plus because that's sine. Okay? Then you put alpha is the first angle and beta is the second angle. Okay. All right. Now we like to do is we like to work on cosine. 225 plus I sine 225. This complex number in trigonometric form times cosine 195 plus I sine 195. Okay? Alright. Now, remember, we're going to do FOIL method. Okay? For the FOIL method, you do is the first product times the second product. So that's cosine 225, cosine, cosine. Then you probably feel something right here. Cosine, cosine. That's the first product. Okay? And then outer product is cosine, sine. Okay? So you may do is cosine, let me write here. So this is the first product. Let me put F here. Outer product, so you do is cosine times that. Let me write sine first. Sine 195 degrees. Okay? And then cosine 225 degrees. Okay? This quantity times that. I wrote this one first and then that. For your method. And then FOI. I is inner product. Inner product is this one times that. Okay? So then let me put I first. Let me put this I first. And then I want I sine 225 times this one. So that will be what? So let me put I cosine 195 and then sine 225. Okay, it's this one times that. So I wrote I sine 225 times cosine 195. Okay, so FOI inner product. L, that's the product. That's the product. Let me do is the quantity here times the quantity here. You know, this is I times I, so you got is what? I squared, which is -1. So you want to put negative in front of it. Okay, and then this one times that. So you do is sine 225 degrees, and then this one times that is sine 195. Now I want you to look at it in this way. You see, is the one right here, subtract this one. That's cosine, cosine, sine, sine. First angle alpha, second angle beta. So that's what? That's the one right here. So basically the one right here is cosine what? Cosine 225 plus 195. Okay. Now when you add those two together, and then I can be pulled out. Okay. If you pull out I, then what? Inside is sine, cosine, cosine, sine. Okay? Sine, cosine, cosine, sine. That's what? First angle, second angle. So you do here will be sine 195 degrees plus 225 degrees. So that's why you end up with what? 225 plus 195 here, 225 plus 195 here. And that's the reason. Okay? So in order to understand those reasons, you need to understand is that there are few things right here. Okay? The first one, second one, and third one. Here is sine beta. Okay? So you need to understand the things behind it, but most important thing is that you want to know how to do it. Okay? Times the magnitude of these two complex numbers. Absolute value is actually 6, 7, but add the angles. Alright? Please review this lecture. By the way, here is what? Here we said here is multiplication. One multiplication, one complex number times another complex number. Here is times. If here were division, you want to do is 6 divided by 7, and the first angle subtract the second angle. Okay? The way y is similar, like this. Okay? In the following example, we'll talk about this. I'll see you next time.